Hello?
Hello?
I think it's
Is
happening.
this an official, like, we are happening, we are live
I think we
situation?
are live situation is here. How are we doing,
Guys!
everyone? It's been
Guys, how
so
are
long.
we? It's so crazy how, like, when you're, like, suddenly consistent and, like, then you go 2 weeks without doing something, you're
Right.
like, oh my God, I've never done this in my life.
I mean, I'm totally fine taking a break. I feel like you know that about me. I'm like, oh, it's a time for a vacation. We love a vacation.
I'm
And
not good
now
at
we're
taking a
back.
break. You know, I don't like a break. You know, I'm not about that.
I love that you're very much like, oh, we haven't done 2 videos this week. What are we going to do? I was like, lie around? Like, I don't know what to tell you.
But the people want it.
I mean, well, we're here for the people now. How are we doing?
How's everybody? Hold on. Let me
Yes.
see if I can find the chat. All right. Hello, hello, Ricky. Hello, Sarah, Vinny, Christian, Vinny again,
Yes.
Jeanette, Jeff, everybody.
How are we doing? The people are here. How is everybody's New Year's? Vinny says I'm literally on vacation right now. Good for you.
Good for
That is what we
you.
believe in here at Two Game Mats. DJ Bob is here. Hello,
DJ
DJ Bob.
Bob.
A king.
I mean, yeah, I guess I'm still on vacation too. And you are too.
I mean, technically I am. I'm not working tomorrow, so that feels like a vacation
Yeah.
to me.
Jordan, Happy New Year from New Zealand.
Oh, Lynn.
Lynn.
Austin Marlowe.
Yes, Austin Marlowe
Yes.
there with that block button ready. Also, has Juan been at the last couple streams?
I don't know. I mean, we haven't done like a full group stream in a few weeks now, right? Like
Yeah.
it may have been mid-December. So maybe he was there, maybe he wasn't. Oh, Falou
Okay.
is here.
Hello,
Glad to catch it
hello.
live. We love a bank holiday. Same
Yeah,
has. Jeff
Juan
says
has,
one.
but he's behaved.
No. Austin wants to know what everyone wants to know. Did you move back to New Jersey?
I didn't know. But,
Mm,
but I mean, Netflix has just made a big deal where they're building television and film studios in New Jersey, like near where my brother lives. So, like, I might have
really?
to move to New Jersey because Lord knows I'm booking, all the Netflix shows, in the
Hello,
future.
King of Dahmer.
Hello.
Number
Hello.
one King
You
of
know, I
Dahmer.
was on Netflix on Dahmer. I was on Netflix in Special when I had a line.
Yes, I forgot about
Yeah.
Special. Never
Uh,
forget.
Never forget that paycheck. I cashed that right away.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was solid for
All
one
right.
line, girl. It was great.
I love that. I love that. Hold on, let me turn you
Yeah.
up a little bit. Keep talking to the people.
Okay. Hello, people. How's everybody doing? Ricky is off. Michael Smith, hello.
Oh, hi, Michael Smith.
Jeanette, all right.
Nina
I
from
can't.
Greece.
Nina from Greece.
Yes.
What's
Happy New
going on
Year's
in
from,
Greece?
I guess it's Happy New Year from Athens, Greece. We love that.
Athens. It's where the Olympics began.
Heard of
That's
those.
that's the one sports fact I know and can comprehend.
I mean, it's kind of, you know how I feel about the Olympics. It's like things I do not care about at all.
Wow, you're really offending our fan from Greece here.
But no, I love Greece. I haven't been, but I'd love to go. Santorini looks lovely. Nick wants to know what are our goals, plans for 2023, any expected projects at the moment. Ty, Happy New Year's, dolls. Trying to think.
To
I
just,
mean, I'd
I
like
guess
to.
to like keep this like momentum of two game acts like being
Yes,
consistent.
it's true. And wait, tell us in the chat. Would you rather us do a live reaction to the new Sam Smith album or the new Ava Max album? Because they're both coming out in January, and we're only doing one. I'm leaning a certain way, but I'm not going to put my opinions onto you.
Okay, everyone
All
vote
right.
below.
Vote
You know
below.
what to do. I'm
I think I need to make more TikToks for the Two Game Outs TikTok stuff.
and I need to make more TikToks just like in general for myself.
Right, exactly.
Sure. I need to figure out how it works.
Yeah, you can do it. Sam Smith,
Yeah.
Sam Smith, no shade to Ava. I'm manifesting a Matt Palmer single release sometime this year. The goal is actually an EP. A Sam Smith. They're both Mariah fans, so I have no pull one way or the other. I love it.
Sarah, we got Sarah and Nicholas fighting for Ava over here.
Yes. Paramore is off then. Oh, I would prefer Ava. Oh, is Paramore January too? What date is their album release?
As long as you react to the new Miley single, don't worry.
We will. We
Flowers,
probably won't do it live, but we will update it. What's the date? So in what? Oh, Matt P. I'm loving the hoodie. Well, sweetie, it's a onesie, so I'm glad you like it. I wore this actually for our patron only. Paramore's Feb. Wonderful. Different month. I wore this for our live Two Gay Matt's talent show that we did in the middle of December, which was so much fun, where we like live reacted to people.
Wow, repeating outfits.
Hey, it's a whole new year. New year, new me. And also, this is what I've been wearing all of 2023 so far. So we're going to see how long I can make this go.
Listen, we need to give the people the illusion that we're like fancy, famous YouTubers and influencers and stuff. So like, it's like can't wear the same outfit more than once within a year of each other.
I don't foresee that for us. that doesn't seem believable.
I do that all the time. Like whenever I'm like, whenever I have to like pick out an outfit to like record in.
Yeah.
I always like go through like, okay, what have I not worn recently?
Oh, I do that.
Yeah.
I do that. But it's like, I may have worn this recently, but only to the patrons. But if you want to become a patron, you should go to patreon.com/2gaymats, and we'll have more smaller get-togethers, smaller reactions, bonus content. We also had a Google chat that night, or like what was it? It was a Teams meeting because my job doesn't let me use Zoom anymore. Whatever. Did anything happen this week besides New Year's Eve? I mean, that whole Andrew Tate thing is fun. Tory Lanez, Miley Cyrus. Nothing giant, We're mostly. I feel like I don't even want to call it news, but I feel like I'm going to tell Matt Steele something that will make him proud.
Okay.
Okay. That's what I'll say. I don't want to oversell it. It's not news, but I just feel like I did some stuff over the break that you're going to be like, wow, good for you, man.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Right. We'll see if that happens. DJ Bob, Happy New Year, fam. I totally recommend the Spice World 25th Anniversary Reissue CD. Not new, but they always come through with cool stuff for fans and collectors. Matt Steele, have you gotten that?
I have not, no, but I'm also like notoriously not a collector. Like when it comes to like the people I'm like huge fans of.
Right.
But yeah, for a group with only like 2.3 albums,
right?
they really like give the people what they want.
They love an anniversary. I feel like both the Spice Girls and Mariah love an anniversary, even though Mariah has to do her whole, I don't believe in numbers and anniversary and like time, whatever thing around it.
Yeah.
She'll give you a 25th anniversary of Butterfly and let you live with that.
So I've been on the Post social network, and the community is so nice and amazing. I'm very hopeful it's in the future. There's like Post and like Mastodon. Is Mastodon like another one people are doing?
Yes, but apparently Christian tried Mastodon and said it was weird.
Okay.
But I don't know.
I got a Hive or whatever. That was like big for like 3 days.
Oh, okay. We love that.
Yeah. And it's basically just like Twitter. I don't know. But then I just went back to Twitter.
Sarah says, I wanted to do the Patreon, but don't understand how many times we pay you. You pay once per like release. So if we have a new podcast or a new video, that's when the payment comes through. You can set a limit to how much you pay. So if you're like, I'm going to pay $2 per release, but I don't want to pay more than like $6 a month, you can set your monthly limit to $6. I'm happy to walk you through it. Become a patron. It's fun there. And if nothing else, the Discord is always popping off. And we'd love to have more people popping off within there.
Like, y'all, we talked about movies for like a solid 2 hours, like bam, 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 the other night. And I was just like, Matt Palmer probably wants to blow his brains out right now.
The thing is, we had a party. I mean, we should wait for the podcast for this, but I was busy doing other things. And so I got back onto the Discord and I was like, there are so many pages. I can't even go back. All I know is that
it's hard sometimes, yeah.
It's hard. I think Jordan was like, I can't believe Matt Palmer liked Wally with the silence at the beginning for the first hour. And in fairness, before I saw the movie, I was like, that does sound boring, but it's lovely. But it's lovely.
So, but see, it's so interesting because I think it's because I know that I've always known that you liked Wally because that was like one of the first things I learned about you. It was like
brilliant.
Matt Palmer loves Mariah, loves Wally.
It's true. Wally was the background of my MacBook at the time.
It's what, and so now, like when people are like, "Really, Matt Palmer loves Wally?" That feels like so off-brand for him. I'm just like, no, it doesn't, not at all.
Well, you've been there since the beginning.
Yeah, I know that you're really a kind heart underneath the bitchiness.
Oh, I didn't know that was the outer exterior of me was bitchiness.
Everyone would agree. Everyone in the chat. Vote below if you agree.
We don't need a vote on whether or not I come across bitchy, but thanks. I mean, I just watched something else we put on the Patreon, our old delicate reaction video, which we put up for about half an hour and took down because I was going through it at the time and didn't need the Swifties attacking me. And woo, I did not like it.
Like you were just going for it, but the thing is, like were still like very like smile on your face, like it was very pleasant, but you were just brutally honest.
I mean, it was my feelings came out, and I feel like it's good to be honest.
It's good to be honest. Honesty is a good virtue.
All you need to know is Babylon is a mess. I feel like we're gonna talk about Babylon so much in the next hour.
What makes you think that?
I just have a feeling. What'd the Black Eyed Peas say? I got a feeling.
You got a feeling? Yeah. Let's just say if Austin continues on this negativity, he might have to lose his role as moderator.
Oh my God. Oh no, he does. I'm here for Austin as moderator. And I feel like if you got a chance to block Matt Steele, you should do it. We need another off-brand faves video. That is a cute idea. I would love that.
Yeah. There was one that I thought of recently, and it completely slipped my mind.
Jeff says Jeff moderator rising. I mean, I think Jeff could moderate because I feel like the takes, which as hot and wrong as they often are, they don't affect his judgment in general. So that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing I like, Jeff, like I feel like he very, very much like comes into everything like with an open mind.
Yes.
And he's always and you can never predict what he's going to like and what he's not.
I know. It's always a shock. I
still have not sensed a pattern.
No, there's no that's what makes Jeff so exciting. There's no pattern.
Yeah.
Truly Killa is here. Hi. Oh, and that's the thing is these jammies are comfy, but like we have the heat on a bit, and I'm like, am I gonna get warm under these lights? We'll see.
Oh no, under these lights.
Under the lights. Some of us have lights, Matt Steele.
Yes. Well, let me whip out the ring light from my mother's closet.
She should have one. She's a star. The people would love content from Mama Steele.
Listen, she doesn't need a ring light to shine, darling.
Oh, that's true. She's
Mama Steele is in the other room watching on her cell phone.
Oh,
probably
that's nice.
But Mama Steele helped me do this setup. She is now a 2 Game Ads associate producer.
I love the Christmas in the back. I gotta tell you.
Yes, she like got me the like little stand to put the microphone on.
Wow.
She like helped me figure it out. Yes.
That's beautiful. I love it. It's a family affair. I can't believe Michael's not there just judging you while you try to do it.
No, my brother and Ryan, his boyfriend, left for their house this morning.
Oh, okay.
So because my brother was with me all these past 2 weeks because he's a teacher, so he has off.
Oh.
So and
Is he back
Ryan's
to school tomorrow?
Yeah. Sucks.
Wow.
Yeah, he's an elementary school librarian, so he's got to go back in there with those books.
That's a tough gig, I feel like.
Tough gig.
Is it You said elementary school? I guess those kids are pretty nice still. I feel like you're nice in elementary school.
Well, I mean, he also does like preschool and everything. So like he deals with like 3-year-olds. So like sometimes there's like some poop and pee on his library floor, and it's always an adventure.
Well, that I couldn't do. That would not be for me now.
Yeah, they also they're like the school's like building him a new library.
What?
Yeah, they're like building a new library that's going to be open next year, and it's going to be like bigger and stuff.
Okay.
And so they already told him this, and they're like, but don't tell anyone. And so they were like, we're gonna have a big announcement, like we're gonna have a meeting for like the lower school and everything. And so they all like got called into this meeting, and all the other teachers were just like, they have a big announcement. Do you think that they're gonna announce that we have off on the 2nd? They're gonna announce that we have off on the 2nd. And they were all so excited. And my brother knew what the announcement was, and he was like, yeah, maybe.
That's tough.
When they announced like the big announcement is there's gonna be a new library next year for Mr. Steele the librarian, and everyone was like, yay. And
I know.
Like, thank you. Yes, I am special.
I get that. That's exactly what my reaction would be. But I mean, I'm happy for your brother, but it's like, let's be serious. Okay, I'm gonna get my podcast audio recording up because I know how
I'm gonna do that too.
Quality.
Oh my God.
Oh, and there's 66 people here. Thank you for coming. That's so nice.
All right, 66.
Yes. You didn't forget about us. What did Mariah say on her?
Don't baby, don't baby, don't baby, don't.
17th #1 single. Don't baby, right before Touch My Body, right after We Belong Together. Right. What a time.
What a time.
What a fucking
top
time.
Of the world. And now she's #1 again this week.
I know. I love it. It's like one of my greatest accomplishments of like being a youth was deciding like Mariah was my fave, because it's never steered me wrong. Like not once. It's like, oh yes, no, this was the correct decision. Everything she's done has been brilliant. I love it. It's lovely.
And like even when things look low, like with a G word moment,
we can talk about glitter now. We got
you're
justice.
you're just like no, don't worry.
You gotta stay
coming.
loyal. Loyalty is a big thing in my culture, and so you gotta stay loyal.
Right.
I was like, "What's the date?" And I was like, "Oh, I guess it's 1/1."
1/1.
Whew, 2023, man. How old are we?
Don't want to say it.
Don't want to say it.
We don't acknowledge time.
No, Mariah taught us. Mariah taught us.
At what rate will she be? At what rate will she beat the record again for longest run at number 1?
I think this is week number 11.
Okay.
So I'd say by the end of the decade at the latest.
I would say by the end. I would say by 2024.
I think it'll be a little longer. I mean, do you mean her record or the overall record?
It's 19 weeks now. It's the record, not 16.
Okay,
Okay, I would say
2026.
6
or 7. I just love.
We'll be optimistic and say 6.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Nick Cannon telling Andy Cohen "my body, my choice" when asked if he'd get him a vasectomy? No comments on Nick Cannon. I have no comments on that person. You know what? We all make mistakes. Jeff says glitter is good. True. Number 1 again. Oh my goodness. How does that keep happening? Ty, great quote. Glitter watch along. Glitter watch along is needed. It absolutely is. But what is it streaming on? Is Glitter streaming anywhere right now?
I don't know. You should know that. Don't you watch it every day?
I mean, not every day, but I do. I mean, I've seen it a good bit, and it holds up, and I still love it.
You pop it in the VHS, don't you?
I mean, no. The thing is, I actually should get a DVD player that works. Our DVD player, we have it, but it's like 50-50. It works, maybe a little less than that. So maybe I just need to bite the bullet and purchase a DVD player that actually works.
Okay. I just Googled is Glitter streaming, and just one sentence: Glitter is not available for streaming.
No, rude.
I'm so sorry.
Nick, this is coming from a Jamie. What is Glitter? Hello, Mariah Carey film from 2001.
Nicholas.
The album soundtrack is a Mariah Carey album essentially, and it was released on September 11th, 2001, and the movie was released on September 21st, 2001. It was notoriously not terribly successful, even though it deserved more. And it is a wonderful film and soundtrack that you should take a listen to. Ruby, hello, beautiful people, sending lots of love from Adelaide, Australia. I love how international we are.
I know we were there. We got Greece, New Zealand, Australia. I think someone said Colombia.
Oh wow, it's one of those things where it's like I really feel like it's just you, me, and the Discord folks, and it's not.
It's not.
I love that.
There's a whole 50 others.
Hey, and I'll take it. And there'll be a lot more when we react to something live. And I'm trying to think, what's the next big album that's going to come out this year? I don't even know.
I don't know, because they all came out like within a year of each other. Like Adele, Taylor, and Beyonce all released like within a year of each other.
Steele, you gotta set a date for this Steve-O's watch along, because people are coming for you.
I know. I swear, I'm gonna do it. I swear. Let me get back to LA. Let me get my bearings straight.
I'm not one for New Year's resolutions, but that needs to be yours. Oh, Rihanna at the Super Bowl. We probably won't react to that live. I'm actually not sure. When we did Gaga, did they put the performance up right after she did it?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think of how we're going to do that, but I mean, this is kind of behind the scenes stuff. This isn't interesting to people, but I do wonder, because if we watch it live and react to it live, when you edit it together, you're going to need a good copy of it to put over that. I don't know.
We'll figure it out. But also, like, Rihanna, she's doing the Super Bowl this year, but is an album coming this year. I don't foresee it.
I don't know. We're definitely getting the Super Bowl, and that's what we're going with.
Sure.
Yes.
So just more of the same Rihanna songs. Okay.
Maybe we should put out a new single along with the Super Bowl. That'd be cool. That'd be cute. Sure. The Divas watch along is the next win. Are we getting Hurricane Matt P? Look, I've been there, Matt Steele. I understand the feeling. And there will be more music from me this year, I swear. If it doesn't happen, you all can shade me this time next year.
Okay, but yeah, releasing and like writing, recording, and like producing and releasing a song is much harder than just being like, hey, let's have this watch party for this movie that is already out.
True, but I feel like this kind of tech stuff stresses you out from time to time. I understand that why you would drag your feet a bit. You know, justice for Matt Steele.
Justice for Matt Steele. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're lucky if there's even a single. Oh, Lord. At least an EP. The people really want new Rihanna. But Austin said, hopefully there's new Olivia Rodrigo. I foresee that. New Dua Lipa. I could see that. That'd be lovely. If she sings the Black Panther song on the Super Bowl, she won't.
She will not. She will not do that. Unless she's nominated for an Oscar for it.
That category is going to be something. Woo! Okay. Are you ready to record, Steele?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
All right.
Me start things off. So we're gonna, if you're new to the live chat moments here, we're gonna actually start recording the podcast now, which we weren't doing before. We were just talking and chatting with all of you, and we're so glad you made it.
Thank you so much for making it. Now we're putting on a show, so please silence your cell phones, unwrap all your candies. I have to give the pre-show announcement.
Okay, I'm ready on my side, I think.
All right. Okay, I'm recording on my side.
All right. Should we do a 3, 2, 1 clap snap?
Sure.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Great.
Happy 2023, baby.
Can we believe it's 2023? Like, I cannot wrap my head around it.
I do not acknowledge time. It's like there are like first words of books that are very important. It's like, in the beginning, God created the heaven and earth. Let there be light, blah, blah, blah. And then also the second most important book in pop culture, Mariah's memoir, saying, I don't acknowledge time as the first line.
I do feel like it was inevitable that you would reach a point in your life in which you also didn't acknowledge time. So I'm glad to know that 2023 is the date. That's the year where like time is out the window for Matt Steele.
Every day from now on will be 1/1/23. We are putting the marker on it now.
Oh my gosh. Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
You start.
Okay. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Two Gay Mats podcast. And this is our first podcast of the new year. Happy New Year to you all. We're actually recording this on New Year's Day, like the great Taylor Swift song from Reputation, an album she released. And we are so excited to be here with all of you today and to be back in the saddle. We took a week. Was it just 1 week off of the podcast? Why does it feel longer?
Because it was like, it's like 1 week that we didn't do, like there was one Sunday that we didn't do it, but that is like sandwiched in between 2 full weeks.
Right.
You know, that's how math works kind of, I think.
It's true. And this is the first time we've like live streamed in like a couple of weeks. So if we're a little rusty, if we forget our words, please don't be too harsh on us. We're just getting back in the saddle, as they say.
If we forget our words, like we have a script in front of us.
Yeah. Oh, I hated that one. Did I tell you when I was in Arsenic and Old Lace it must have been 9th or 10th grade? I forgot.
You were in Arsenic and Old Lace?
I was the cop.
Oh my God.
I know. And I forgot my lines on stage. And then Ro, who was like the lead guy, had to tell me like he was like bound by like a bandana and he had to like mouth it to me. I still remember that. That was tough.
Hey, Prince Charles coming in to save the day yet again.
For
those of you who don't know, that we're referring to Prince Charles from Diana the Musical.
Yes, exactly. He was in my class in high school, and we were in plays together. He always got the leads, which I found rude at the time, but it's like, I can't act. What can you do?
You're a very good actor. Get out of here.
I'm not. Matt Steele.
Yes.
How are you? How have you been these past couple of weeks?
I've been good. As you can see, I am in front of my Christmas tree in New Jersey. I don't know. I've been home for almost 2 weeks now, and I've been having a really, really good time. Obviously, I celebrated Christmas with my family. I had a really nice time. Had the Christmas Eve party at my place. Had the Christmas night party at my aunt and uncle's place. It was essentially the same people gathering, like 2 separate days, like at different places. But yeah, it was really nice. It's been a very, very relaxing vacation, very pleasant. I will say it's been very, very sunny in New Jersey, even though it's been cold. Yeah, and like having there be sunshine, even if it's like freezing cold, like is still like so helpful in terms of setting the mood, I guess. But yeah, no, it was nice. I saw my cousin who I like cousin and like his kids who I haven't seen in a while. It's funny. I actually his daughter, my cousin's daughter, is a big Taylor Swift fan.
Okay.
And I asked, what did you get for, because I know she got a record player and she got two vinyls. And I was like, oh, what did you get? And one of those vinyls was Taylor Swift.
Was it Midnight's?
It was. Well, I asked my cousin, I was like, what Taylor Swift did you get her? And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, well, what do you mean you don't know? And he was like, it was the yellow one. It was yellow. And I'm like, yellow. So I looked online and one of the vinyls is yellow. And so then I asked my cousin, I was like, did you get her the clock?
Jesus Christ.
And he was like, what are you talking about? And so I asked my cousin's daughter, I was just like, so like, are you going to ask for the other vinyls? And she was like, oh yeah, because I only have 2 so far, referring to this Midnight's vinyl. And I think she got Conan Gray was her other vinyl.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, and I've already listened to them all the way through already. So now I need more. And so from listening to that, I gathered she does not know about this clock situation.
Did you tell her?
No, I threatened my cousin. I was like, if you don't do if you're not nice to me and you don't do everything I want these on Christmas night, and you don't like go and get me a Diet Coke or whatever, I'm gonna tell Lily that there are actually 4 vinyls and a clock piece, baby, and you're gonna have to pay for all of that.
I'm glad that our Taylor Swift knowledge can be used as weapons against your family now. I think it's really a good evolution for all of us.
Listen, as she has told us, she is a mastermind.
Hello. That's a great song, by the way.
Oh, it's great.
I feel like since we first listened, it's grown on me.
Oh, yeah. And she knows how to weaponize literally anything to get what she wants. So I'm just inspired by Taylor this Christmas.
You learned from the best.
Yeah. And no, I had another great time. Saw my friends from high school, their kids, had New Year's Eve at my house. It was nice. What did you do, Matt Palmer?
Matt Steele, I told you before we started recording that I think I could make you a little proud with what I've done over this break.
What did you do?
What I did was consumed so much content and watch several movies and some TV shows. I saw Black Panther 2 in theaters.
Okay. I'm seeing that tomorrow, actually.
Okay. Well, I won't spoil it, but it's very good. I enjoyed it. I just saw I Want to Dance with Somebody, the Whitney Houston biopic with our friend Corey a few days ago. It was essentially what I wanted to do after watching that is that Whitney has a posthumously released like greatest live performances CD and DVD, and a lot of the vocals and the things they used in the film were from those performances, and so it just was like a great commercial for that live CD and DVD experience. Is it a good movie? Like it's very paint by numbers. It's very like, okay, the Houston family is behind this, so we're making her mom look like pretty nice throughout, even though we know the truth. But I will give them, they did talk about Robin. Robin was very integral to the storyline, the plot.
Robin, like the Swedish singer? What?
No, Robin is like her like lesbian lover. Robin Crawford. Yes. No,
Robin,
they were like
friend.
Her friend. Yes. So they were friends. But like I would think they'd kind of want to scrub that out because you never know with Sissy and all of them involved. And it was very much a part of the storyline. It's just like, remember that Lifetime Whitney movie? It's on par. Like, it's better shot, and Stanley Tucci is Clive Davis in this, so like, more money was spent. But it's the same idea. Honestly, just listen and watch those live performances that she does, and that's all available to you on Spotify, I believe. And you will hear the because like the first few things that were sung were not using Whitney's real vocals. And I was like, I fucking hate this. I realize this is someone doing a Whitney impression and it's close. But as soon as they got to those stems, as soon as they got to those live performances, I'm like, I'm crying. This is so
well, and I hear Naomi Ackie is very good as well.
She does a great job. Like like she inhabits Whitney in a very real way. So I don't think anyone needs to rush out and see the film, but there are good things about it. I saw Glass Onion, the Netflix, film. Have you seen that one yet?
Yeah, I saw it in theaters a month ago when it was in theaters.
Right. Loved it. I loved it. I feel like people were going back and forth. I thought the twist was exciting. Janelle Monáe, I thought, did a great job. I was into it. Saw Matilda. Loved Matilda.
I know.
Maybe it'll come up again later, but my God, what like the show itself is so beautiful. Every song is gorgeous. You know how I feel about Norte. Like, what a great song.
Oh, Norte.
But when I grow up, I was so affected. I was so unbelievably affected by that scene in the film, the song, the performances, the dancers, like everything was amazing. It also like reminded me like, whoa, Matilda's a dark fucking story. Like I realized that Emma Thompson was like very, had a lot of prosthetics on and was being like, harsh as Miss Trunchbull. But I was like, this is almost too hard for me to look at. Like this is not like fun and, children friendly to me. Like I was frightened as an adult.
Well, and I told you, like, because, for those of you who didn't catch the podcast, I guess like 2 weeks ago, Matilda blew my mind. I absolutely loved it. And I cried throughout like all of it. But I'm such a huge fan of the stage show. And the stage show is like so much darker. Like the stage show is really twisted and like fucked up. And so when this movie came out and I saw that this is a little more brighter, a little less scary, a little more PG, I was a little worried, but like I had nothing to be worried about because like even though it is less scary than the stage show, it still just translated so brilliantly. But yeah, it's funny when people like see the movie and they're like, it's so dark. And I was just like, baby, this was nothing.
I don't know. I was more frightened than I expected to be. Also, the actress who plays Miss Honey is just like warms my heart. Every time I see her, I want to burst into tears. Like, I love her. I love her. I love the show and love the film.
The editing of that moment, you remember?
Wait, which moment?
Her song. Oh. When you see, I mean, no spoilers, but like. When you see.
Yes. Okay. I also saw another Emma Thompson film. I think it was Good Luck to You, Leo Grande.
Oh my God. I've been wanting to see it for so long and I've never gotten the chance.
It's so good. It is literally the smallest, most intimate performance between Emma Thompson and this very handsome young man whose name I don't know. And it's about basically she is a person that is newly widowed and has never had an orgasm, so she hires a sex worker in their relationship and what happens with that. It is so lovely. And my feelings on the last 5 years, my feelings about a two-person cast. Like, let's just investigate these two people and their relationships with one another. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And the last two are TV shows that I watched in full because there was only one season. I watched Severance, which is the Adam Scott show on Apple TV Plus, where basically people have been implanted where they can split their minds into two separate parts. One is like, oh, all of my memories and all of my knowledge is at work. But as soon as I go up this elevator, I become a person again. And all of my memories are about my personal life. And I have no idea what I even do at my job. And it's very interesting. It's also very dark. It's also like, the thing is, you initially think it's like, oh, I don't think I would do that, but maybe it would be okay. And you watch like 3 episodes and it's like, if you do this, you're a monster. Like, never do this, because you have to think about like what they call them innies, the people that like part of your brain that is doing the work. That's all you do. You go up that elevator and the next thing you know is you're going down the elevator back to work. You don't know what you're doing at the job. It's just like, and they're treated so cruelly. I don't know. It's a great show and I could recommend it. And lastly, I want to talk about Fleischman is in Trouble, which is another Hulu show that I watched from the beginning to end. This is Jesse Eisenberg and Lizzie Kaplan and Adam Brody, who plays a man named Seth, which was also his name on the OC. And it's about these 3 friends from college who basically are in their like approaching middle age. Like they have young kids, 2 of them, and their relationships are changing with their partners, and Jesse Eisenberg's wife, played by Claire Danes, kind of disappears. And the whole time, I saw a tweet about this, and it's very true. The whole time, Claire Danes is like kind of a background character, kind of like appears in the flashbacks for Jesse Eisenberg. And you're like, why did she take this role? It's kind of like she's not given a lot to do, and like she's kind of painted in such a negative light. And then you get to episode 7, and you're like, holy fuck. This woman is acting her face off. And again, I'm not an actor, but I see great performance and I can tell what it is. And it's all in the span of like an hour and 20 minutes where she goes through this incredible range of emotion. It's just the most brilliant performance. I would love to see her awarded for it. So.
Oh, damn. Well, was this like you're giving me moments early, or like do you have like another thing coming up later in the podcast?
It might be early. I just went through everything. But yeah, I just was excited because, again, I feel like maybe it's a part of the job hosting a pop culture podcast to be up on like what's happening in pop culture, TV and movie wise. And I don't really do that. So it was nice to give it a go. And it was like, there's some good movies.
Yeah, you would. Oh, you know what? During like prime Oscar season, there are some good movies.
There are some
out there.
good movies.
How
Absolutely.
interesting!
I know.
Who would have thunk?
I had no idea. All right, so are we ready to jump into the news for idiots?
Okay, let's go.
All right, we were debating how to say her name. I believe it's Greta Thunberg, according to Matt Steele.
If it's not, it is now.
It is now. So there's this horrible person, which I hope you've never heard of. And if you have, or if anybody in your life has heard of them, make sure to steer them away from him. His name is Andrew Tate. He's a misogyny influencer, I think is right. Like he just hates women and is a Trumper and is disgusting. And he, out of nowhere on Twitter, because of course Elon Musk let him back on Twitter, tweeted out, "Hello, Greta Thunberg. I have 33 cards. My Bugatti has XYZ. Please provide your email address so I can send a complete list of my car collection and their respective enormous emissions." It's like, this is like he's tweeting at this young girl who's not even paying attention to him. It's like not even noticeable. And she tweets back. What did she tweet? I can't even find the exact tweet, but it's like,
it was something like, "Here's my email address." It's like, "Suck my dick at whatever."
Smalldickenergy or
smalldickenergy.com or whatever.
Like getalife.com. And he responds with a video that he has produced of like, I of course didn't watch it because I value my time.
It's like he's sitting down, and it's like the weird Kevin Spacey videos that he would post after
it was like
his
every
whole
Christmas.
debacle.
Oh, we got through a holiday season without one, thank God.
Yeah, he's sitting there like, it feels like, I don't know if he's in front of a fire, but it feels like he is. He's like in pajamas and he's like, "My pizzas have arrived." And like these 2 pizzas pop up and he's like has a cigar or something. I feel if he doesn't have it feels like he has a cigar. And he's just like trying to like one up her by like being cool and like, it's just so gross and obnoxious and like, get a life. Like, truly, my God. Like the fact that you tweeted her this in the first place, like just at her for no reason. Get a life. She has no idea who you are. Like,
and why would she? And the best thing about this is this all happens essentially within 24 hours. This man is then arrested by Romanian authorities because of that video he tweeted out, because they were trying to figure out exactly where he was. And the pizza box was on the table confirming like, "Oh, so you're in Romania. Like this is a local establishment. We can find where you are." And he is arrested on suspicion of human fucking trafficking. And all these MAGA people, all these misogynists who like hate Hillary because of Pizzagate, XYZ, you're actually influenced by an actual human trafficker, one that's not made up. Like, how the fuck do you look at yourself in the mirror? Embarrassing.
It's like this is, I cannot believe people aren't talking more about this. Like, people are talking a lot about it on like Twitter and everything, but like the fact, because this is such a crazy thing to happen. Insane. The fact that like this stupid petty argument that he instigated, and like then he was suddenly found out through pizza boxes that like not only did he like do something illegal, he is arrested for human trafficking. Right. Like one of the worst things.
You do. Exactly. This man is disgusting and revolting. And I do have this Greta tweet in response to that. She just tweets, not even at him, not replying to him. "This is what happens when you don't recycle your pizza boxes." Queen. Queen. I love her. God. I hope to never see this man again. And honestly, maybe not to ever say anything Elon is doing is right. If this man wasn't back on Twitter, this wouldn't have happened. And this wonderful, glorious 24 hours of like retribution. Like sometimes bad people go away when they should. Like that would not have happened for all of us had it not been for that. So Elon, I'm going to start the year off nicely. Thank you for that.
Because it's like stupid people just can't help showing their full asses. Like, he could have sat there quietly and done nothing and like been his like awful, horrible human trafficking self like in private, but no, instead he's like, "I'm gonna show the world my whole ass." It's
the Jen Shah thing. It's like people just love fame so much that they don't care that they're truly criminals walking among us, and the best idea would be shut the fuck up.
Look. Listen, the lesson is you either love crime or you love fame. You can't love both.
It's true. And Matt Steele loves fame. He picked a side.
I picked the good side, guys.
You did. That's the good side.
Hopefully the rest of you pick the right side.
Yes, not crime.
Not that fame is this thing we should all aspire to, but it's definitely better than crime.
Right. It's better than crime. You should honestly just fight for, inner happiness and, enough money to live happily. Okay. Sure. Speaking of horrible men, Tory Lanez was found guilty of shooting Megan Thee Stallion. This trial has been going on, and I've not talked about it just because the responses from people on the internet, especially certain like hip hop blogs, and honestly, people like Drake, who had some shit to say on his album about Megan Thee Stallion. It's just so disgusting that people all want to make it out that Megan Thee Stallion is lying about this event, in which her story has not changed in the years since this has happened. And you could feel people chomping at the bit to say, oh, he was not found guilty or wasn't found guilty of all of these charges. People were actually like, I feel like some of these blogs actually were reporting that had happened before a conclusion was reached or at least announced. And he was found guilty on all counts. Canadian rapper was charged with assault with a firearm, negligent discharge of a firearm, and possessing a concealed and unregistered firearm in a vehicle, all of which he was found guilty for. I hope Megan is sleeping so calmly, because I feel like her life has been fighting these allegations and fighting her old record label. And it's like, can she not just be believed? And can she not just celebrate her success? Like, this is a person who's become one of the biggest artists on the planet in a matter of just a couple of years. And she's had to deal with so much bullshit from all of these people. And I hope every one of you people who said something bad about Megan Thee Stallion, Drake included, sends her fucking roses and apologizes. Because, like, if it had gone the other way, you'd be all, oh, the justice system, as if it's never gotten anything wrong. But everything points to him doing it, and he was found guilty. Is that not enough to believe this woman now? Like,
yeah, let's just be happy that like the justice system seemed to have worked, and that I don't think he's been sentenced yet, right?
I don't know that he's been sentenced. I believe he's currently incarcerated, but I don't believe I think he's waiting for the sentencing. So,
well, I mean, hey, justice is served.
Truly. In another piece of exciting news, I didn't get a chance to watch Miley and Dolly Parton's New Year's Eve special, but I heard it was amazing and I need to watch some of the videos. But she also, in conjunction with this, has shared a teaser of her new single Flowers, which will be released on January 13th. People have pointed out that this, and I think there were posters found, I don't even remember which city, but like kind of Break My Soul-esque posters with a picture of Miley and some lyrics that were basically like, I can buy flowers for myself, I can love me better than you loved me, whatever. And others have also pointed out that this song is coming out on Liam Hemsworth's birthday, so the birthday of her ex-husband. Is that a coincidence? She's not Taylor Swift, so maybe, but probably not. I'm excited. I loved her last album so much and thought it deserved so much more, and I hope she gets the attention and the flowers for the song Flowers in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I like it. There's like a visual type thing that leaked, which is like her dangling from a like a acrobatic thing, and she's in high heels, and she looks hot.
Yeah, she looks great.
I'm digging that visual. I don't think that's like an official visual. I think that's like a leak or something, but like it looks really good. And I'm happy she's releasing something, because ever since Taylor's released, I feel like no one's released anything. Like November and December's usually dry for a new release, but like I feel like November was just like, where is everyone?
I mean, no, the people, they didn't want to go up against Taylor, and then obviously it was Mariah season. So, speaking of other shit I watched, go to Paramount Plus and watch Mariah's Christmas special. She's had many a Christmas special, and I think this would be the best one. Joseph Kahn directed it, and he's the director of, I believe he directed Blank Space, if I'm not incorrect, but he also did #Beautiful. He worked with Mariah and Boy I Need You. He's a great director, always shoots her lovingly, and she just sounds great. Like, they put together the audio from both MSG shows and also the 2 Toronto shows prior to, and there's a new version up than was originally aired on CBS, and it's just lovely. It's so exciting. It's so beautiful to see her with her kids, and to have Brian Tanaka walk out and give her that 12 times platinum award, which she deserved, along with what's his name? I can't remember. The guy from Pose, who's a singer. Billy Porter.
Billy Porter? Yeah.
Billy Porter is also on stage, but he's also said some shit about Mariah Carey on Watch What Happens Live that I have not forgiven him for. So hopefully she's forgiven him.
Oh, is there beef between Matt Palmer and Billy Porter? I did not know this.
I think he's very talented, but I didn't like. He said something about Mariah talking about one of the like Rockefeller performances where like people, it went viral because she didn't do well or whatever, and he had something gross to say. So I'll forgive one day, but
you won't forget.
I won't forget. So,
no. And also, am I mistaken, or like this is Mariah's like 5th Christmas special in a row?
I mean, I think that's her thing now. Like every Christmas, it is going to be a new Mariah special. Because I guess last year the Apple TV one was like literally 2 songs, so that one didn't really count. But she did have an Apple TV Plus special in the year prior, so I think it must have been 2021, and it was great. That was when Ariana and Jennifer Hudson joined on Oh Santa. I was hoping they would do it at MSG together, but didn't quite happen. But
next Christmas, Ariana's busy. She's filming Wicked.
That's true. She's filming one of 2 Wickeds. So she is very busy. But she also sang half of Miss You Most at Christmas time, which you all know is my most underrated Mariah song probably ever. I love that song. And more happy news specifically for me, Tina Fey has written her first screenplay since Mean Girls.
I forgot this story.
She was quoted as saying, I have a movie script that I've been working on for like 15 years, and I think maybe it'll go forward. I haven't written a movie script since Mean Girls.
Maybe it'll go forward.
Exactly.
We all need to rally together and put our dollars together. And how much do I need to give you, Tina? I don't have much, but like I will give you what I can.
I'm trusting that it's going to happen because hello, we've all seen Mean Girls and what it's become. Like I feel like any studio would be insane not to greenlight a Tina Fey screenplay that was the follow-up to Mean Girls. No?
I mean, that is pressure. Like, because Mean Girls is not only just like a hugely popular movie, it is the pop culture staple of like an entire generation of people.
Absolutely.
The people who are now like full-fledged movie consumers, except for you.
I am now. Hey, you heard.
Now you are. Now you
yes.
are. Not only does it have this legacy, but it's also been 20 years.
Right.
Like that's a long period of time.
Absolutely, and that's probably why it took her so long to get it together, get it out there, and get it ready for consumption. So I'm excited. We'll keep our eye on that one. Apparently, the Golden Globes are poised for a big comeback with movie and TV stars attending. Austin Butler's going to be there. The Fabelmans team, Ana de Armas, Daniel Craig and Ryan Johnson, they believe, James Cameron. Just a lot of people. But I do think it's a little... Are the Golden Globes usually on a Tuesday? That seems odd to me.
That sure is odd.
I was like, these aren't on Sundays or something? Like
they are not. They're usually on a Sunday. They're usually like the second Sunday of January or like first Sunday of January. But yeah, so when I saw the date and I was like, oh, let me make sure I request off work or something. And I'm like, oh, wait, but I'll be doing the pod. Like it'll be around podcast time. So who knows what we'll do. And then I actually checked that date and I was like, oh, never mind. It's a Tuesday.
It is a Tuesday.
Which is like the Critics' Choice Awards are usually like a Tuesday. But I mean, hey, maybe a Tuesday will work. We'll see.
I guess we'll see. At least
I'm excited for them to be back because they're always
excited.
Just a fun, debaucherous night.
I mean, I hope it's not a mess. Like, I don't know if that means if I'm excited or not, but I hope it's not a mess. Like, I hope people enjoy it and that nothing bad happens.
What bad could possibly happen?
I don't know. Aren't they racist? Something racist could happen.
But like that night specifically, I don't foresee I don't foresee a slap happening.
Okay.
But you never know. Who would have thought, a year ago today, we would have been saying, oh, who would ever slap someone at an awards ceremony? But then it happens. So you never know what can happen. And that stage is a lot closer. Like that room is a lot smaller. So like if you want to go up on that stage and slap someone, you have a shorter distance to go. So
okay. Hopefully someone could stop whomever wants to start a slap moment. And it's already been done before. You don't want to do the same thing over and over again,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Did you see that Broadway's revival of Funny Girl starring Lea Michele has broken the all-time box office record at the August Wilson Theater? The revival collected $2.005 million over 8 performances during the week ending in December 18th.
I did not know that, actually. I mean, that's cool.
Apparently it's happening for her. And that was the whole thing, is when this happened, when they were changing over to her, I was like, we'll just have to see what the numbers are, because I feel like she is going to have to bring in the numbers or she'll be gone too. And I guess she's bringing in the numbers. Good for her. Yeah. On the same Broadway, Almost Famous, K-pop, and A Strange Loop recently closed due to low sales. So I guess it's obviously this show is something that Funny Girl is a show that a lot of people know, a lot of different age groups know, and obviously the Lea Michele of it all probably added to that. What Matt Steele, please fix Broadway right now. What can people do to get an original musical off the ground and in theaters for a long ass time?
Why the hell are you asking me? If
'Cause
I could fix, if I could fix Broadway, I never would have moved to LA, girl. I would
you're
have
our
stayed in New
Broadway
York.
correspondent. That is like your whole thing.
Baby, Broadway does not want me. Baby, baby, I am smoking my cigarette and flicking that ashes in New York City's direction because, baby, if New York City wanted me, they would have come knocking on my door long ago.
All right. Well,
but we'll see, that maybe Devo's the musical might be coming. Maybe
hey,
Devo's the musical will save Broadway.
I'm ready for it. I would love that. So, okay, I don't know if you want to talk about this later, but Babylon opened with just $1.4 million. Projected weekend run was $4 million. Did it hit that $4 million? It had an $80 million to $90 million budget. I assume Babylon's coming up soon, but do you have any comment on its commercial success or lack thereof?
I have no comment on Babylon's commercial success because, baby, I know what I saw, I know what I heard, and I know what I felt. And we will be discussing that after the break.
Just the note I'm seeing on this website, but considering the reported 80 million to 90 million budget, it's a disaster. Cinema score is C+, Rotten Tomatoes in the toilet. No comment?
My comment is that Wolf of Wall Street's cinema score in 2013 was lower than a C+. And look at the legacy that has risen to with time. And yeah, we'll talk about my thoughts on Babylon later on in the show because I have many minutes. I could rant for 3 hours and 9 minutes to go along with all 3 hours and 9 minutes.
And no one wants that. No one
Everyone
wants that,
does.
as you can see by the numbers. Okay, so Barbara Walters unfortunately passed away at 93. This happened on December 30th, right before the new year. It was actually, we were having a party at the house when we found out. It just is one of those things where, like, I knew she must not have been in great health because she had not been seen publicly in so long. I feel like The View hosts had like an anniversary where like a lot of the hosts got back together and she was not there. Very big missing piece. So I had a feeling she wasn't doing well. 93 is a great, wonderful long life. She has quite the history as an interviewer, as a journalist. She'll be sorely missed. But as a The View watcher, how did you feel?
Oh, the thing is, I'm not just like, a huge The View stan. I was also a giant 2020 stan when I was a child.
Right.
Because, it was on right after TGIF. And so the TV always just stayed on Friday nights, and we would learn about something for an hour. Like I remember like learning about adult things on 2020 when I was like 6 years old, and it was always hosted by Barbara Walters. And I don't know. And of course, we both watched the Turning Point's Broadway search for the next Annie together, which was iconically hosted by Barbara Walters. And just, I mean, there isn't much you can say about Barbara Walters that hasn't been said, because like it's not that like, oh, she was such a legend in the broadcast journalism field. She was the legend in the broadcast journalism field.
Right.
Like every important topic issue was Barbara Walters at the helm, like giving us the rundown of everything that was happening. And she's just one of those people who, much like Angela Lansbury, who passed away a couple months ago, it's like, you just always kind of assumed she would always be around. And she was kind of just like this ageless being. So yeah, she was very much like a comfort person for me because she was just always around. And so I'm excited to see what they say. I don't know if The View is starting back up tomorrow or if it's starting back up a week from now. But I'm interested to see like their I imagine the whole episode is going to be dedicated to Barbara Walters.
I'm sure.
And just like the people who are like standing on her shoulders, like every woman in media is just like standing on her shoulders and will admit that 1000%. And I mean, hey, anyone who can make Elizabeth Hasselbeck storm off the stage and have a great, I mean, you're a queen. I stand.
Absolutely. Yeah. I agree. So rest in peace to Barbara. Our thoughts and prayers out to her family and friends. Is there any other news for idiots you'd like to discuss today?
I don't believe so.
All right. Well, great. Let's take a quick break and then we'll be back with more Two Gay Mats. Cute.
Okay, how was that, guys?
How was it? How'd we do?
Guys, we're a little rusty, aren't we?
No, that was lovely. Come on.
Yeah, we were fine.
Wonder if his dad is still cursing Jay-Z's name now that the phone call came out admitting it. Oof. Yes, the Christmas special was amazing. Jay Christian says, I'm late here, but did we drag Darlene for suggesting her and MC collab and then shade her the next day on The View? I have not been discussing Darlene because I like to keep the joke of me being feuding with Brenda Lee alive. Darlene is not fake. That's not a joke. I'm sure Mariah would fund the follow-up to Mean Girls. Absolutely. They probably couldn't afford their old Sunday slot, Jeff, on the Golden Globes.
Yeah, I wonder what went on with that. Because Tuesday, woof.
Are the Critics' Choice Awards going to still be aired? Because didn't they air those, or like they took the Golden Globe spot or something?
I think they were like going to, and then I don't know if it ended up. I forget the Critics' Choice Awards last year. They're January 15th, which is, I'm assuming, a Sunday. Okay. Why do I not remember the Critics' Choice Awards from last year? Yeah, the 5th. They're airing on a Sunday this year, so I'm assuming that is the Golden Globes slot that they took. I do not remember the Critics' Choice Awards last year at all.
I think that's okay.
Did they even happen?
I assume so.
Like, I mean, I know that people were awarded something, but like, was it a big show? Because we were like in Omicron times then.
Oh,
so
don't know. Didn't know she sang. Thought she rapped or whatever.
Thoughts on Rolling Stone's list of the great? I feel like every 5 seconds there is a list of 100 greatest whatevers of all time by some big magazine. It's like, can you think of something else? Can you think of something else? I don't know.
I know. It is a lot of that. I mean, I personally would put Mariah above 5, but 5 is good. It is weird that Celine wasn't on it. Kelly Clarkson's too low. Trying to think of anything else.
Didn't Grace also check, like Grace from the Discord, also check to see if Judy Garland was on it, and Judy Garland was not on it? Correct me if I'm wrong.
That's what I heard, but if I thought that was crazy. I was hoping that was a mistake in Grace's browser, because it feels like omitting Judy would be an odd choice.
That would be sacrilege.
Yes. They put Billie Holiday over Mariah, please. Have y'all seen Barbarian? I have not seen it.
I have not. No. There's so many like great horror movies came out.
Didn't Judy Garland do blackface? Did she?
In one of the movies in like the early 30s, like they put her in blackface.
Uh-oh.
Like when she was like a child.
Well,
girl, it was the 30s. It was a horrifying time. It was like a horrifying time, and people got away, like producers and directors were just like, yeah, let's do this. And it's like, ooh,
bad stuff. I'm trying to think. I feel like, of course, times always change. I don't think we're doing anything that fucking bad right now, are we? It could be like eating animals or something.
I think the eating of animals will be the thing that like 100 years from now people are gonna look back on and be like, those monsters,
right?
And we're just like, wait, what? Exactly. What are we doing? What's so bad about this? Yeah,
that felt more obvious, but I guess we're in 2023. My God.
I just got into watching Korean and Japanese dramas lately. They're making mid-budget rom-coms and dramas that American cinema has been missing.
Oh, okay. Please give us some ideas. What should we be watching? I was wondering if you guys have seen the new Avatar film. James Cameron's did it again. It was so good. I have not.
I saw it the day I flew out to New Jersey. It's great. It's great. It's great. I haven't seen a movie in 3D in so long.
Do you think it's as good as the first one? Better?
They're both great. I honestly have not seen the first one in so long. I would say I really, really, really loved the first one. I really loved the second. I would say I like them pretty equally.
Great.
Yeah.
Where's Austin to pan Babylon during Give Me Moments in the chat?
Austin was fired.
Austin is not fired.
Austin was blocked.
He was here. He might come back. I don't know. I love it. South African dramas, Rich as Blood and Water. Ooh, I'm interested.
I'm obsessed with Pearl lately. Oh, Pearl the movie. Yeah, Pearl's great.
I'm trying to think, what did I not talk about that I could talk about and Give Me Moments? I went through everything. I made a list.
Go in more detail about, I don't know, one of the movies. Matilda. I could talk about Matilda all day.
I know you could. It really was lovely.
It's so great. It's so... So great.
Thoughts on Jeffree Star accusations?
Oh, what
None.
did he do now?
He's like saying Kanye was the Illuminati, blah, blah, blah.
All right.
Kanye sucks. They all suck. Like, no comment.
I feel a lot more emotional investment in the characters for the sequel. Oh, the family aspects of Avatar. Like, I thought that was very impressive. Like there are so, when I saw that there were 4 children, I was like, how are you going to get me to care about all of these kids? But like I did.
Wait, children of the humans or children of like the whale or whatever?
The avatars, like the Na'vi people, like the main family.
Okay.
Which I guess the guy like started off as a human or whatever.
Right.
But like him and his wife like had 4 children, and like they all had a lot to do. I mean, there were like 3 hours for them to do it. So if you didn't develop those characters,
can we get movie runtimes down, please? I know Matt Steele won't agree with me, but like I do not have 3 hours to sit in the theater and watch this. Like even Whitney's 2.5, I was like, oh, enough.
Well, I think artists should be able to do whatever they want.
Disagree.
So Matt Steele, did your friends seriously think they should have cut? Yeah. Did you see that, Matt Palmer?
Who said that?
Corey.
He said to me, he was like, that was the most average movie I've ever seen. And I was like, absolutely not. It was lovely and wonderful.
Corey literally texted me and was like, while he was watching it, and he was just like, ugh, When I Grow Up is like the most useless song I've ever heard.
Absolutely not.
And it's like, how dare you say that about that beautiful song?
It's hurtful. It's hurtful.
Especially the way it was done in that movie. I mean, I talked about it already, but like the transition from Bruce into that song, beautiful, beautiful.
Have you all seen the Whitney Houston movie? Yes. Listen to her live album. You don't have to see the movie. Oh, Adam Parnell's here. Adam Parnell.
Hello, Adam Parnell. I just want to say Matt Palmer has real influence on pop culture because the last ep when he was beefing with the old lady, the next day Mariah was back at number 1.
I'm just gotta tell people. I haven't seen Babylon. It wasn't good. Oh no.
Don't believe it, Ibrahim. We'll talk about it.
Corey, if you're watching, that is a horrible take. LOL. 1.5 to 2 hours is a good, comfortable running time. I agree.
Depends on the movie. If it's something like huge, like Avatar, it's like, give me longer than 2 hours. Come on.
Do you have the emails ready? Do we need an extra one?
Oh, we just have one, but I mean, it's kind of like a long answer that we'd be giving. But like if someone has a question they want to ask us,
yes, feel free.
Feel free. All right, let me find the email and people can ask a question.
I saw Mariah on Colbert. It was great. Absolutely. What show would y'all currently want to see revived on Broadway? Dreamgirls.
I mean, the fact that there hasn't been a Dreamgirls revival is very weird.
Right?
I'm assuming that they're probably just like, they're probably thinking like, it's hard to find like a talent that can play Effie at like 8 shows a week and also sell tickets.
I mean, is it not Amber Riley?
Amber Riley, I think, is the name to do it. Like,
right.
If Lena can sell all those tickets for Funny Girl, Amber Riley can absolutely sell all those tickets to Dreamgirls.
And she was doing it in London, I think. I feel like she was doing it on the West End and killed it. So Amber Riley.
I know. I don't know. I don't know, girl.
Ooh,
maybe they're also like, we need a Dina that can equally sell tickets.
No, you don't.
You really don't.
You really don't. Alex Newell has been said. All right, I'd watch that. Falou, how was she in the West End?
Oh, I remember when Falou saw her on the West End. I've got the voice, Curtis. I've got the
voice. Turn the wigs around.
Wait, I got it. Turn the wigs. Oh, Dina. It's so different. And like in my mind, like turning those wigs around, like they don't look any different. Like, am I the only one who I thought they looked exactly the same?
I thought they looked worse.
It's sophisticated.
Sophisticated looking. I loved when Beyonce was like, okay, what's a teens act like? Let me do that.
I'm young. I'm a virgin. I'm not famous yet.
I am a woman now. I heard it didn't do well at the box office for Babylon. Hopefully Damien Chazelle has studios work with him. Oh. I also need something starring Kelly O'Hara on Broadway, and can't wait for Carol Carmello's return to Broadway as well. I don't know them.
Carolee Carmello. She's from Parade.
Oh.
She was just in 1776, but she's going to be the stepmother in Bad Cinderella.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Happy New Year to you too, No Angel. I'm so glad you're here.
Happy New Year.
I hope everyone rang in the new year with Mariah's Auld Lang Syne. Does anybody really know the words?
Just in front of that green screen, baby.
Just like holding two children within her. Furious.
Furious. She's just like, I hate this, but I'm singing my ass off.
She is. She sounds great. Did you guys see Bardo on Netflix? I got through about 10 minutes and peaced out. I don't know what that is.
I did. I saw Corey, who's our resident Matilda hater, was actually obsessed with Bardo. He loved it. And I watched it with my friend Megan, and I liked it. I thought it was really good.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's very like G. Alejandro Inarritu's doing a lot. And or Alejandro G. Inarritu's doing a lot. And it's sort of like semi-autobiographical a little bit.
Okay.
And it's just there are a lot of cool things happening with like special effects and cinematography and like art direction, and it's really, really cool. Like it's just fascinating to watch. It is quite long though. So if you're one of these people who's not into a 2.5-hour movie, maybe not for you, but like I had a great time.
All right. I love that. Yeah. Do you have the question ready? Yeah,
I will. Oh, and I will say, I forget who said that they pieced out after 10 minutes of Bardo. Rick Caruso. I will say that the first 20 minutes of Bardo are the hardest parts to get through.
Okay.
But then once it gets going, you really get invested and you're really like on that journey. But the first 20 minutes, you're kind of just like, wait. So maybe, I don't know, start it back up again if you got time, Rich.
Okay, give it another watch. Right. I love that.
We'll give it another watch.
Okay.
All right. Oh wait, I have to start recording.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you?
Oh, no, not yet. My keyboard's being weird.
Oh, keyboard.
I know. Be cool. Oh, here we go.
All right. You're recording.
There. And let me start the video. Vidja. All right, let's do one more. 3, 2, 1.
Sure.
3, 2, 1. Great.
Beautiful, guys. From across the country, we can still do a timestamp and get things going. So this is Email My Heart. This is the section of the podcast where we answer any questions that you guys might have. You can be a part of Email My Heart if you email us at 2kmats@gmail.com. 2 is spelled TWO. Or if you are watching this online, you can comment below and say, hey, this is for Email My Heart, and we might answer it. So we got an email. We got an email from our dear buddy Jacob, who is a longtime watcher. He says, Email My Heart. Hi, Mats. Hope your holidays went amazing. First, I want to say thank you for throwing the talent show a few weeks ago. I was nervous to submit my song, but it ended up being a big confidence booster for me. Can't wait when you put together another one. I just want to say we had a talent show for like our patrons and everything, and Jacob submitted a song that he sang and wrote, and it was fucking excellent.
Brilliant.
And so, Jacob, I hope you write more songs and send them all to us, and we can bop around to them.
Yes.
So the actual question. Anyway, on to my question. I've recently been listening to Taylor Swift's Fearless album while visiting my parents in Texas for the past few days, and I can't stop listening to the title track. I think it might be my favorite on the album. So I wanted to ask each of you, what is your favorite song from each of Taylor Swift's albums, starting from debut and going up to Midnight? Yes, including Reputation, Folklore, and Evermore. Silly question, I know, but I have ADHD, so random questions like this pop in my head from time to time. Can't wait to hear your answers. Love, Jacob.
Okay. You start, Matt Steele, because I need to look.
Okay. Okay, so because I think I went through this in my head before we started the podcast. On self-titled, my favorite track is Our Song.
Great.
Second place is Picture to Burn. as far as Fearless goes, I want to say shout out to Jacob because he says the title track is his favorite song. And I feel like the title track of Fearless goes so unnoticed. It's so underrated. I love the title track of Fearless. It is not my choice, but I think I'm gonna say, I mean, like, obviously, like, Love Story is like the classic and You Belong With Me and everything, but I will say my personal favorite that it always like moves me so much is Forever and Always.
Oh, I love that song.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Beautiful.
And just like that ballad version, that piano version that's
Yes.
on the deluxe is just so, so good. Speak Now, had you asked me a year ago, I would have either said Last Kiss or Dear John. But I have to say, in the last probably 8 months, Enchanted has just skyrocketed in my list of Taylor Swift songs. Like, Brilliant. It might be in my top 5 for Taylor Swift songs, maybe top 4, maybe top 3. Like, so right now I have to say Enchanted is my favorite on Speak Now. Like, I just think Enchanted and it's something that I'm going to say I'm missing from her catalog now is like taking such a simple concept and really making it feel like a giant like Avatar experience in a song, you know?
Right.
Like something as simple as I met this guy at a party and I really hope he knew how excited I was to meet him.
And please don't be in love with someone else.
Just begging, don't be in love with someone else. That's all I ask. And so that song to me, just the fact that you could take that tiny little moment and make it feel like the Titanic of songs is just mind-blowing. Okay. Next album,
you gotta move a little quicker. We gotta get through this.
We only have one email, my heart, so so it's totally fine. Favorite track on Red obviously is All Too Well. Favorite track on 1989. I'm going to say Blank Space, but obviously Out of the Woods is very, very close second. Favorite track on Lover. Obviously, when Lover first came out, I was obsessed with I Think He Knows, but as time has gone on, I can't not say Cornelia Street.
Oh, absolutely.
I can't not say, and obviously Cruel Summer is a very close second, but I can't not say Cornelia Street. Just, oh, did I skip Reputation? Oops. I totally didn't mean to do that. My favorite track on Reputation is ironically New Year's Day, which is funny because we're filming this on New Year's Day. Fitting. Then, God, she has so many albums. Favorite track on Folklore is Exile. Favorite track on Evermore is Marjorie, just because I feel like it's her most, even though I don't think it's like the strongest like melodically or anything, it's the song on that album that I feel the most personal connection to. Like, I feel like she has the most personal connection to it. So that's why I've always really loved Marjorie. Also loved 'Tis the Damn Season, but whatever. And finally, Midnight's You're on Your Own, Kid. God, she has 5 trillion albums.
So many albums. And I feel like we have a few overlaps, which I like.
Yes.
For the first album for me that's self-titled, I would say Our Song is up there with but I also really love I'm Only Me When I'm With You. I feel like that's like a preview of the Fearless era in a really nice way. Fearless is tough because there's so many great songs. I put Tell Me Why, that The Way I Loved You, and Forever and Always, I think are 3 just ones that I want more attention to be paid to, and so that's why I love them very much. Hey Stephen is also great. Speak Now, I love mine. I'm not saying one song, sorry. But if I was gonna pick one song, I guess I would say Last Kiss. But I would say Justice for mine, Speak Now, Dear John, Mean, all great. Like, Speak Now is such a great album. 10 out of 10 all the way around.
Oh, absolutely. I think the bridge of Last Kiss is like maybe my favorite bridge of hers.
It's devastating.
Oh,
devastating.
Like I'll watch you. I'll watch your life in pictures. Like I
used to watch you sleep.
Oh my God, amazing.
Red is All Too Well. Like, period. Like, trying to think if there's anything close. There's not really. I Knew You Were Trouble is great. 1989. I would say, obviously, Blank Space, Out of the Woods. Also, Clean. I feel like you should have mentioned Clean because Clean is
beautiful. Yes.
Reputation, New Year's Day. Lover, I would say Cornelia Street as well. And Cruel Summer as well. Death by a Thousand Cuts always is moving up and up in my list, though. I love that fucking song.
It's so great.
It's great. It's great. Folklore, I would say Exile or Last Great American Dynasty. Evermore, I would say Marjorie as well. I do like 'Tis the Damn Season. And then Midnight's You're on Your Own, Kid. But I will say, would've, should've, could've, whatever it is, is moving up on my list as well. I think those two songs are just so brilliant. Highlights in her entire discography. Excellent artist who has a lot of great songs in that discography.
Matt Palmer, we have so much overlap in our favorite Taylor songs for each album. I feel like Taylor is an artist that like you and I like tend to agree on a lot with each other.
Yes. And I'm trying to think of other artists that we would have a similar connection about, and I'm like, maybe Beyonce. I don't know if Mariah. I feel like sometimes you like some stuff that I'm like, I don't hear what you're hearing, aka Petals.
Listen, Petals is a classic and is my national anthem, and I go to bed humming it every night.
I'm glad you do. But yeah, I feel like there was, when you were going through it, I was like, yes, I hear a lot of what you're saying. I feel like there was nothing that I violently disagreed with. I think he knows a lot. I've always thought you did.
Listen, I that's why I said it's not my favorite off of Lover anymore. But when Lover first came out, I was all about it. As far as Reputation goes, I love King of My Heart, and you are so rude about it.
Oh,
King of My Heart is great.
I hate that melody. King of them. I just don't. It's not for me. It's not.
You don't like a dip in there.
It's just like it just doesn't. No.
Yeah, you don't like a dip down, and you don't like chromatic ups.
I didn't know those were my rules. Thank you for figuring that out.
After knowing you for a decade, I very, very much know exactly what you like.
I do like when we listen to songs separately and you're like, oof, Matt Palmer's going to hate it. Because then I'm like, I do. I do hate it.
But it's always crazy when we listen to something and I'm like, Matt Palmer is going to hate this. And you end up loving it. And I'm just like, girl, get it together. This is so off brand.
Remember when you thought that I hated Lover when we first started the review for some reason? I was like, oh no, I love the album actually.
Yes, like, because the day it came out / leaked, I listened to it, and then I had lunch with our friend Corey, and so he did not like Lover because he very much has like a Jack Antonoff blind spot.
He also just hates Taylor Swift. Like, let's be honest.
He also is just a grump. What can we say? And so I had lunch with him, and he was just like, oh, can you believe that album? Oh my God, I did blah, 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 blah. And he was talking about how much he disliked it. And I was just like, wait a minute, did we listen to the same album? Because I absolutely loved it. And, and we were talking about, what's the song? False God. And I was like, oh, that one's not my favorite. And Corey was like, oh, that's the only one I liked. And Matt Palmer agrees with me. And I interpreted that as Matt Palmer agrees with me that the album isn't good. But he was actually saying Matt Palmer agrees with me that he loves False God.
Yeah, False God is great.
And so I went into that. If you guys watch our Lover album review, I go into that video thinking like I'm like bracing myself because I'm like, okay, Corey told me that Matt Palmer doesn't like the album. How do I defend it and not sound stupid?
Well, luckily you didn't have to because I thought it was great.
Yeah, so
thought it was great. So Matt Steele, I have a question for you.
Yes.
I'm worried to ask it.
Don't be worried. You have to just dive in and be brave.
What has been giving you moments, darling?
So, if you're new to this podcast, you might not know that I am the #1 Damien Chazelle stan on the planet. He is my father. I would give anything for him. And so I, of course, was looking forward to Babylon for a long, long, long time, especially when I heard that it was over 3 hours long and it was just craziness. But then, of course, people started seeing it and they were like, this is a masterpiece. And then like the embargo got lifted and it was just the reviews were very divided. Like people were either like 100, 10 out of 10, this is a masterpiece. And other people were like, this is pure insanity and I cannot watch this. So the reviews were very divided. So of course I was foaming at the mouth with excitement, but I also went into it being like, listen, the reviews are divided. I'm going to have to brace myself for maybe some flaws and everything. And so maybe it won't be the best thing I've ever seen. And guys, what I saw that day, last Friday, was a masterpiece.
Oh my God.
It is For those of you who don't know, it follows three main characters. One is Brad Pitt, who's like this giant movie star. The other one is Margot Robbie, who's this aspiring movie star. And the other one is Diego Calva, who is this guy new to LA, and he's like trying to work his way up in the system. And it just follows them throughout their journeys. And it takes place in the 1920s and 30s and is inspired by that era. But like, it's not trying to recreate that era not at all, but like it's not trying to recreate that era like super staunchly. Like it really takes a lot of liberties. It's looking at the 1920s and 1930s Hollywood through a 2022 lens, which is what I felt like La La Land was very much doing with that movie, like looking at that era of movies in a 2016 lens. And so people were like, oh, this isn't completely accurate. And it's like, bitch, that's the point. But anyway, so it is just pure debauchery, and like you see the most insane things on that screen. Within the first 2 minutes, an elephant shits on the camera lens, and like it's just chaos. There's naked people, there's people having sex with everyone, there's hedonism, there's drugs, there's peeing on each other's faces. It's nuts, and it is so wildly entertaining and moving. And a thing that people are saying is like, oh, this movie's messy, it's messy. And I was sitting there watching, and I'm like, I'm waiting for it to start to get messy, because the stuff that's happening with the characters, of course, is messy. These are messy characters. We're watching like the height of their careers, and then all of a sudden talkies happen. Like, so it's basically the downfall of silent films, and it shows how like all their careers just like are destroyed. And so it's like, there's the highs of the beginning, and then it plummets. And so like there's mess as far as like that goes. But like in terms of storytelling, I felt like it was so cohesive, so straightforward. The way each of the characters was so even, like, with stories like that where you're following a bunch of different people, usually like there's like a stretch of time that goes by where you don't see someone for a while, and you're like, oh, I didn't really connect with this character as much, and blah, 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 and like this story got lost. But like everything felt so even, and like I was following everything 1000%. I was never confused. I was always on board. Like I don't know what people are talking about, like in terms of messiness, because that story to me was crystal clear. I'm so impressed. I can't wait to see it again. You have a question, Matt Palmer?
I do. I wonder, do you think you're pitching this movie and your description of the shitting on the camera and peeing everywhere and all this vile stuff you've described as something people want to see? Because if you review the chat, you've probably turned off half the people from wanting to see it. Is that the goal?
Well, look, if you're somebody whose like stomach is turned by like seeing something like that, then like, it might be hard to watch or whatever. But like it's just so entertaining, and just the way Damien Chazelle knows how to pace a movie is just mind blowing to me. The way he builds tension in every single scene, and better yet, the way he resolves tension is it's just so like pristine, and I just, something about the way he puts things on film and the way he edits things, the way, of course, he works with music, it just speaks to me, and he just speaks my damn language. And also I saw the movie in a movie theater in Princeton, New Jersey, which is where he is from. And so I like to think that maybe he was one day sitting in that exact seat when he was a child.
This
like
is
me.
Deluded.
I absolutely loved it.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Even if it's not a movie for everyone, it's a movie for you, and that is a lovely thing.
It's just so thoroughly, and like I'm being dramatic with like the yes, the elephant does poop, and like crazy things happen, people are doing drugs, and there's like orgies or whatever, but like still the story is so strong to me, and just the way the story plays out, that ending is just mind blowing. I loved every single moment of it. I loved it.
Well, I'm glad you loved it. I really am. Yeah. I'm glad he's your guy.
So look, I encourage everyone to give it a chance. I encourage everyone to, try new things. It's just such a, even if like obviously like there are so many different layers of the story and how it's done, how it's filmed, that like you can peel away and analyze, and like I feel like you can write a million dissertations on everything about it, but at the end of the day it is just flat out entertaining. Like the way everything plays out is just so entertaining to me, and I had a great time in that theater, baby.
And I truly think that's great. I want you to enjoy every moment in the theater as much as you enjoyed Babylon. Even if for me, from what you described, I will never see it, I'm glad you loved it. I really am.
Yeah, like you would watch some of the things and like be have your hand over your chest and gasp about and everything.
Yes.
So if that's not for you, what can you do?
What can you do?
What can you do? But I loved it. I'm seeing it at least 2 more times in theaters. And I'm going to be talking about it. I've been talking about it nonstop on Twitter. Like people probably want to like have my account like blocked by like totally like canceled or whatever from Elon or whatever. Like report this motherfucker. He's just too obsessed with this movie. But I will say, like, because when it first came out, people were just like, "Oh my God, what a disaster! What a disaster!" LOL. But like, the Babylon Hive in the past week and a half has been growing. Okay. Online, at least from what I've been seeing. Maybe it's because it's my algorithm and it's just showing me that. But I just know that 10 years from now, there will be so many more people who are just like, wait a minute, this movie's actually fucking excellent.
Well, we'll check back in 10 years and we'll see how many people are with you.
It will still be 1/1/23 because, as we said earlier, we do not acknowledge time.
Why would we? Would we? Well, for me, I talked about a lot of content I consumed over this break, and I have to say, a film that I rewatched on the plane to Atlanta and then stopped, and then on the way back from Atlanta and finished it, that I want to talk about and just remind us of the brilliance of, is a movie called Other People. It is by Chris Kelly, and he is the showrunner and creator of The Other Two, which is on HBO Max now and is going into its 3rd season. It's very funny, very good. Other People stars Jesse Plemons and Molly Shannon, and Jesse Plemons is essentially playing Chris Kelly. He's like a UCB New Yorker who is out of college and I think writes for SNL, but is trying to do more television writing and is making a hard transition. His mom, Molly Shannon, gets diagnosed with breast cancer, I believe, and so he moves home to Sacramento, I want to say, to be with his mom during her during her treatment and everything. And it's just one of those movies that has so much heart, is so hilarious, as well as it's devastating. Like, this isn't a spoil because it's literally the opening shot of the film. Molly Shannon, is no longer going to be with us by the end of the film, but you get to see this transition and how he's trying to make sense of it through the eyes of this kid who's still trying to find his way. He's just getting out of like a very long relationship with a guy in New York, and his dad is still not accepting of him. Like, the family goes to New York to see a UCB performance, and his dad won't even go upstairs to their apartment. It's just like, there's so much happening. And also, underrated cameo in the film. Cameo's not what it was, but a young Josie Tota plays a friend in Sacramento's younger sibling, and they're so fucking funny. And it's like, Josie Tota is such a star. I said that when Saved by the Bell was on. She is so fucking funny in this film. And at this point, she's like, I don't know, 12, 11 maximum. And you know how I feel about kids performing. If you're not great, I will not say it. But that young child, excellent. A performer's performer. Brilliant. I want Josie Tota in everything forever and always. Molly Shannon is going to break your heart. Bradley Whitford is the dad, and as awful as he is, he does a great job. Maude Apatow, I was like looking at the little sisters that Jesse Plemons' little sisters in the film, and I was like, are you on Euphoria? And she is. I was like, that's that little Apatow girl. So I did not realize that the first time I watched it. I also had forgotten about the relationship between Jesse Plemons and the younger sisters, because I think the first time I was watching it, I was so focused on his relationship with his mom and his dad that I didn't notice their relationship and what the situation was there, and that was really brought out to me in this rewatching. I just think it's a film that really holds up, is lovely. Chris Kelly is a genius, and I just think everyone should watch it. And if you haven't watched the other two, which I'm sure you have at this point because it's so fucking brilliant, watch those first 2 seasons and thank me later, because it is, I would say, the best show on television. comedically, like, and that's not like a drama in any way. I would say the best comedy on TV. Abbott Elementary is also up there, but two very different, very great shows. This is more, adult than Abbott, which is more family friendly. So watch the other two and watch other people. I think it's just available on iTunes. I had downloaded it onto my iPad, so it was easy for me to fly and watch. And, I watched that instead of watching Mariah at the Tokyo Dome, which was an option on Delta. So that should say a lot.
We call that restraint.
Hello?
You watched something that you've already seen 5 million times, and instead you watch something that you've only seen like a couple times instead of something that you've seen about 5 million times. I'm proud of you.
Who's going to play me in the movie is the question.
I also have a question. Like, are we now like a movie podcast? And are you the movie buff? Because you just like talked about 12 movies in this podcast, and of course we talked about Taylor Swift because that's like an obligation. Every podcast we have to talk about Taylor Swift. But this was a movie. 2023 is going to be our year of the movie podcast.
I guess we're now a movie podcast, at least for 1 week, because I don't know if I can keep up this pace. Like the fact that you see so many movies as they're being released is very impressive. Like even though everything I was watching I was loving, I was so like contented out. Like now that I'm here and I can just watch my housewives while I'm making dinner, like that's the level of engagement I need. Like to sit in a theater and like lights are all down and like focus. It's a lot of work,
Well, that's how I feel about TV. Like it's a lot of work. But that's also why I'm such a staunch, like I have to see this the week or the weekend or the weekend after it comes out, because like I know if I get behind, especially this time of year, I'm just never going to be able to catch up.
Right.
So that's why I was just like, no, I need to get my butt in the movie theater. I was like, I need to see Avatar because I also saw Avatar. It was excellent. I saw that before I flew to New Jersey. And people were like, why didn't you just wait to go to New Jersey to see Avatar? And I was just like, because I needed to see it as soon as I possibly could, because I would also have like the weight of that. Like I have to see that like while I'm in Jersey, and and it's just like, no, it's just Babylon. I just want to focus on Babylon while I'm in Jersey.
And I'm like, maybe was I just trying to avoid listening to SZA's 22-track album because it just seems so daunting to me? And I hear it's excellent. I hear every song is good. I have not listened because I'm just like, that's so many songs. It's so many songs. But I'll listen. Hopefully this time next week I'll have an opinion about SZA because she's the biggest thing in the world right now. And we love to see a lady win. I loved her first record, Control. But just that number of tracks. It's this is so when you guys request that I listen to a deluxe re-release 25th anniversary 25-track album, know that this is my feeling. That's what I want you to know, that I'm walking into your David Archuleta re-release with this attitude because it's too long.
I just want to say, all you people in the chat are just like, oh, I could never sit through a 3-hour movie. How dare they? Blah 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 blah. When y'all are requesting like 24-track albums for us to listen to, and that is too many tracks. That is too many tracks.
Matt Steele hasn't made a lot of points I agree with on this podcast, but I do agree with that one. So I hear that.
Did I listen to the 48-track Babylon soundtrack today? Yes, but some of those tracks are like 50 seconds long. So,
all right. Well, is there anything else you want to tell the people today?
I don't think so, girls.
Guys, we love you. We're so happy to be back, and happy 2023. Next week we'll be in the same room again. Can you believe?
We'll be in the same room again, but it will still be 1/1/23.
It will still be 1/1/23. It's true. All right. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast, and we'll be back next week with more 2 Gay Mats, the podcast.
Bye.
Bye.
That was good, guys. That was good.
That was good.
That was excellent, dare I say.
God, talent.
Dare I say that was a masterpiece?
Yeah, I'd call that podcast recording a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Damien Chazelle is Art Daddy, and the public doesn't get him yet. No one appreciated First Man like they should have. Rich, come on.
Rich is telling the truth.
Happy New Year.
Telling the truth.
Happy New Year, Chris. Happy New Year,
Happy
Ricky.
New Year, Chris.
SZA's album has a lot of songs, but it's surprisingly short. Okay, that makes me feel a bit better. Jay says, I'm going to see if I can get any tea regarding Ree's Super Bowl performance for us. Jay, you know what I'm about to ask you. I'm sorry, and I feel like it's really Beyonce's fault at this point. But do we...
The thing, I feel like if Jay had tea, he would tell us. Like he would pop in the chat, be like, "Hey,
Jay is a she."
Sorry, I feel like Jay would pop in the chat and be like, "Hey, guess what?"
Well, I just have to ask because I have no self-control. So, Jay, if you have anything. Happy New Year, Carol. That's so kind of you to watch. Is there an artist that you guys have never gotten a request to react to, but you wish you did, just to have an excuse to talk about them? I feel like we talk about all the artists we just want to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Jeff says trying to get rid of the Rick Caruso nickname through flattery. This episode was the Babylon of podcasts, so it's all over the place and too long.
Just messy and divisive.
Will you guys see Janet on tour in 2023? I mean, I've thought about it. I've seen her several times, but like,
have you?
I have. I've seen her. I want to say 4 or 5 times. Like, I've seen her a lot.
Where was I?
I don't know. I went with Matt Harkenrider actually to the last one out here, but the other ones were like in Atlanta or in New York, like before I knew you.
You had no life before you met me. Don't lie.
I know that you think, much like Severance, my life began when I met you, but that's not exactly what happened.
It's like my friend Fernando, who he was in LA like 3 years before he met me, and I was just like, "What the hell did you do before you met me?" And he's like, "Baby, I don't know."
Chris Kelly says, "Thank you for all the praise, Matt Palmer." I didn't know that was the Chris Kelly who has been following us for so long. That's so kind.
You're
Please
so talented.
We are going to stay on for a little bit. Come on. What else? I don't have to work tomorrow. Not to brag, but I don't.
Wow.
I love that for me. Someone asked about White Lotus and I missed it. I think you should probably watch the first season of White Lotus before you watch season 2, just because there is a carryover in Jennifer Coolidge appearing in both seasons. So you'd know how that first season ended a little bit if you started in the second season, but you wouldn't miss too much.
Me and Travis my roommate were just talking about, we were texting, and I'm trying to get him to watch the 1976 Pacific Overtures that was recorded on Broadway for Japanese television. And he's like refusing to watch it because, like, it's a little older and it's a little grainier. And so he's like refusing to watch it. And he was like, "I will watch it if you watch White Lotus." And I'm just like, "Of course I'll watch White Lotus for you." Like, that's not like a huge ask. Like, "Oh no, you're asking me to watch this like hugely popular like 8-episode thing."
Are you gonna do both seasons then?
I mean, if he watches Pacific Overtures, yes.
Oh, Travis, I'll watch it. Tell Travis I'll watch it with them.
It's on Travis, guys.
I'll do it.
Thanks for your hilarious discussion on Bow. I didn't think it was that funny. I was just telling my truth.
You need to go back and watch the chat while you're talking at that point, because everyone was like, "What the fuck? What are we talking about? Gross. Ew, gross."
It's kind of like, and also like when I went into Babylon, I was kind of like, okay, I have to brace myself for like some vulgar, disgusting, insane shit and everything. And as I was watching it, I was like, this is more mild than I thought it would be.
I mean, what you described did not sound mild to me, but I'm trying to think. There was only like a handful of things I watched that I didn't love. There was a Netflix movie that came out a couple of years ago called Let It Snow. It was like teen romance kind of stuff that I felt like people were giving a lot, and it's very fine. Like, it's like, this is a cute Hallmark-esque thing, but it's not like, amazing. Matt Palmer would not like. Do you think I'd like Babylon, Matt Steele?
I think if all the gross stuff wasn't in it, you'd be like, yeah, this is a story that I can follow.
Okay, all right.
I think it's for you. It would be the ick factor.
In what world is an elephant shitting on the camera mild? I mean, Max, I'm with you. What Avril say? She said, "I'm with you." Still might give it a chance. It looked interesting. Tyler's still in. A few people are still in after your description.
Y'all, come on, be cool, man. Be cool. I want to know all of your thoughts.
You saw the Discord. Jordan and Austin saw it. Several people gave you the thoughts.
And Eric saw it. Eric liked it.
Eric did like it. I mean, he was in the Discord chat while watching, but he says he does that normally, so I think it's fine. I watched The Holiday with my parents over break. Forgot how lovely that movie is. Oh, you know my feelings. A lovely, perfect, flaw-free film. Oh, I miss Christmas already. We haven't even taken our Christmas stuff down, and I'm just like, I miss it.
I know. Don't worry, you have this. You can look at mine.
Oh, yes. I do feel festive. I do feel festive looking at that.
Chris is excited to check out Babylon.
Okay. We still have our tree up too, and Jackson and I have met in the middle because I feel like the tree should go down, into first week of January, and he had his up until the end of January, and so we're doing mid-January.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
Mid is still a long time.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel.
Yeah, mid is still a very, very long time. I can't handle the smallest bit of grossness. I gag violently every time I see the puke scene in Pitch Perfect.
Ricky says, I'll watch Babylon if Matt S watches White Lotus. Do people want you to watch White Lotus?
I guess, guys, I have no problem watching White Lotus. Like, I hear it's great. It's just I haven't gotten to it. I can't wait to see it. I'm a big La La Land fan, but not a lover of First Man, so it could go either way. Okay. It's very much like the twisted evil brother of La La Land. You'll see what I'm talking about when you see it. And even like music, like there are sequences in the score by Justin Hurwitz that are like direct nods to the La La Land score. Like there's this one moment that's like the exact same melody as a melody in La La Land, and I'm just like so yeah.
She interviewed Mariah, and Barbara asked about Nicki Minaj, and Mariah gave a legendary answer. Absolutely, she did. I think we did it during the podcast. Thought she rapped or whatever.
I thought she rapped.
I have also my memory of like I feel like Barbara sat down with Mariah to talk about Butterfly, even like I've talked about her leaving Tommy. She sat down when Mariah was nominated or had lost a few Grammys for Emancipation, and she's like, "But did you think? But you had the best album of the year. Do you agree?" And she's like, "I do. I do.
I do actually. Thank you.
I love that."
By the way, Matilda was so fun and joyful. Thanks for the rec. Anytime.
Yes. Thoughts on the celebrity death TikTok pranks? It's so fucking gross. I don't understand that. I saw that. I think it was Angela Bassett's son who like joked that Michael B. Jordan had died. And I'm just like, wait. That's
and did
not
you
funny.
see his like apology?
Oh no, I was hoping. I mean, I assumed he got backlash from that because like it's literally not funny.
His apology is so funny.
Wait, why?
Because she whooped his ass.
Really? Because it was just it's gross, like, especially with the Chadwick Boseman of it all. Like you have worked with a younger person who has died. Like this isn't.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing with this like TikTok trend is like okay, like. Yeah, it's like mean to like tell your parent that like, oh, a celebrity they love died and everything. Like if I told my mom, oh, Elton John died and everything, she would be like so upset and everything.
Yeah.
But like he wasn't just telling her that a celebrity died. He was telling her that like her friend and colleague had just died.
Yes.
So like that is a huge difference.
Right.
Like that is a big difference. And just like the fact that, because it's like the fact that he did it, but also that he posted it.
I know.
It's like it's like, sure, you do stupid things. You're like, oh, I did this thing. Maybe it was kind of dumb and like I didn't take my parents' feelings into account. Then a rational adult would go, I should not post this. That's right. It's the posting of these TikToks
in fairness, this person is 16. So you're not an adult.
Yeah. But still, it's just like his apology is he's like crying and he's like it sounds like he's like reading off a script. So Angela Bassett was like, this is exactly what you will say, and he got punished. And
imagine
it's really funny.
Like imagine Angela Bassett being your mom and like disappointing her. Awful.
Oh my god.
Awful.
I imagine she like tapped into her like queen whatever in Wakanda forever and just like ate into him and just, she
was great in that movie, by the way. Like,
wow. Oh yeah, I'm seeing it tomorrow. I'm excited. I mean, like,
she's so good.
She's in the running for like to be nominated for supporting actress at the Oscars. So.
I can see it. Like there are moments in that where you're like, whew.
Yeah, she looks, and I mean, she's Angela Bassett. She's great in everything. But like, I could also see like because there isn't like a clear front runner in supporting actress, especially now that Michelle Williams is not. Especially now that Michelle Williams is running, in contention for leading actress, since there's not like a clear-cut front runner, like I could really see her getting nominated and there being incentive to like vote for her to win. Because she's great and I'm sure she's amazing in Wakanda Forever, but also she's Angela Bassett and like Angela Bassett should have an Oscar.
I was gonna say, does she have one? She didn't get one for What's Love Got to Do with It?
No, Holly Hunter won that year for The Piano.
Oh. Fuck you, Holly Hunter. Not really. I'm sure she's fine.
Now. The Piano is brilliant. Like, they would both be very worthy winners.
Yeah, I could see her winning. That'd be great. I still want her and Keke Palmer to do like a new movie together now that they've talked about Keke Palmer's Angela Bassett impression, which is so funny.
Yeah.
I want that. Which they need to play mother and daughter in something. I need it.
It would be great. They would be so great as mother and daughter.
They would.
Robbing a bank.
Wait, did y'all discuss the Nepo baby saga? No. Who cares?
I feel like there's a discussion about Nepo babies like every 3 months or something.
Right. And I just don't feel like we're getting anywhere. It just is like highlights which of these Nepo babies like get it and don't, which is like, okay, some celebrities are out of touch. Like, woo, had no idea.
No, well, not everybody's gonna get it. So thank you again, Matt Steele, for reminding me of the theme song from the Torkelsons. It's been on repeat since I watched the podcast. Torkelsons is so great. It needs to be on streaming. The Torkelsons needs to be on streaming in high definition, please.
Are you Nepo babies? If we were Nepo babies, babe, we'd have a TV show.
Yeah, girl.
We would have more than we do. But hey, we're happy to be here with 77 of you still on while we're just talking.
Damn, guys.
This is nice. This is nice. My review of the live chat. This is nice.
This is nice. But yeah, I think it's so crazy that people are so shocked that some Nepo babies don't get it, because it's like, of course they don't. Like they aren't living in the same reality as most other human beings on the planet.
And they want to believe they've earned everything the same way, and admitting to yourself that you had a leg up is hard for people to do in any scenario. So I get that. Because we are a loyal ass gay ass chat. Hey, that's basically what came out of the Google survey. Everyone's like, they're really nice and gay and bitchy. And I was like, great. At least we know the audience and we know each other.
Nice and bitchy.
Yes.
I love that in the same sentence.
Totally. Did you guys get any new games? Oh, my Jackson's brother-in-law got me a fun Mario Switch game. I think it's the Mario Wii U game. That's kind of a left-right scroller. Seems a little hard, but it's fun. But I also got a new niche. I also got a new phone. Not to brag, but I had.
Oh, you got the new phone?
I did. I got the new phone. Bought it for myself, and I was just like, it's time. And I had the 11. An 11.
11.
It's time for a 14.
Yeah, I remember when I got the 13 and you were just like, wait, do you have a better phone than me? And I was like, oh, sorry.
That's like not how the world should be. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make sense. So I'm glad all is well again. Nepo babies just understand that getting your foot in the door is the entire goal of making it in the film industry.
It's 99.9999%.
It's a lot of it. Is it a Max or the regular Pro? It's the Max. I'll be watching you on the new one next Sunday. Yes. I got an Apple Watch, which I was excited about. Do you like it, Max? Because I always think about getting it. And I'm like, would I use this enough? Would I
Girl,
run enough?
You've been thinking about getting an Apple Watch for almost a decade.
I'm considering still. Still considering. God. Do you still follow Taylor BB Winner on the socials? It is fun to see her thriving. I don't think I ever followed her on socials, but every time she pops up on my Twitter or something, I'm always happy to see her.
I still follow her, and whenever Big Brother contestant drama happens off season, I'm always just like, guys, why do we still care about this? Come June, I'm gonna be all in. I'm gonna be like, well, in November this happened. But
Sunny, hi, joining late. Have you discussed Celine Dion not being placed on Rolling Stone's 200 greatest singers list? We kind of did, not during the actual podcast, but it's bullshit. She should certainly be on there. There are some people on there that you're like, oh my.
Matt Steele, have you ever run into Tommy Bracco from Big Brother in New York City, Jersey? Well, actually, a friend of mine was friends with him, was in a production with him or something. And after I had gone through a breakup, she was like, oh, let me set you up with my friend Tommy. and I was like, oh yeah, why not?
Did you go on a date?
No, I never met him.
Oh.
But then I saw him at an audition. And I was like, I think that's the guy that my friend Alyssa was trying to set me up with or whatever, and it never happened. And the next thing you know, he was in Newsies, and next thing you know, he was on Big Brother.
Wow.
Yeah.
Living the life. I got the watch as a present and wish I bought it for myself years ago. It's so useful. Okay, it makes me feel good. So next thing, event, ceremony, film, show, music, or any other project that you guys know is announced and coming soon that you are most looking forward to this year? is announced. I don't know. You know, I'm going to say the Renaissance visuals,
Yeah.
but I don't know if we can say those are announced.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything I'm like super. I mean, until I'm waiting for December 2023 when The Color Purple comes out.
I'm waiting for Kelly Clarkson's album.
Yeah, that too.
Do your families ask you guys to sing when you get together for holidays? My cousin who makes music constantly gets asked to do karaoke at family parties. I don't. And because I think everyone knows, like they've lived with me long enough. It's like, he's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. Not going to do. Dune Part 2, is that coming out this year?
That is coming out this year.
Did people like Dune? Dune was popular, right?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry,
people like Dune. Get out of here. It was a huge hit. It won like 5 Oscars.
I love that. Love Timothée.
Timothée.
Excited. I'm going back in the stream, and you're totally right about Megan. I mean, it's just crazy. That whole thing was so awful. Oh, people are excited about Barbie. Yeah.
Oh, Barbie. Yeah. Barbie, which is opening the same day as Oppenheimer, which is like, that's gonna be a crazy day at the movies.
What's
it's
Oppenheimer?
gonna be filled. It's gonna be filled with gays and straights together at the same time. Crazy.
What's Oppenheimer?
It's the new Christopher Nolan movie. It's really cool. The trailer of Oppenheimer, the way they're advertising it, the trailer of Oppenheimer is like on YouTube, but it's not like you click. I think it's like you don't click on it and it like starts playing. It's playing on a loop, and there's a timer that's like 8 months, so many days, so many seconds until the movie comes out.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
Yeah. All right. People love Dune. People love Greta. Greta Gerwig or Greta Thurnberg?
Greta Thunberg or Greta the movie that came out in like 2019 with Isabelle Huppert.
A lot of options. A lot of big Gretas. Thunberg. Okay. All right. So, is there anything else, y'all? We might be signing off.
I know. I'm gonna just look at the tree and remember 2022 fondly.
It was a nice time. Does Disappointment Boulevard? What is that?
I think that's the new Ari Aster movie. Yeah, it does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a new Scorsese that's coming out this year. Yeah, Peace, Love, and Happiness. The Little Mermaid is coming out.
Wait, a new Scorsese movie?
Yeah.
I'm mixing him up with Steven Spielberg. I was like, didn't he just do The Fabelmans?
Oh, if Steven Spielberg did release 3 movies in a row, that would be so awesome. Oh, you need to see the Little Mermaid. You and Jackson need to see The Fabelmans, Matt Palmer.
Okay.
I think you would like it.
I'm not in love with the idea of it, but I could see it. Yes, maybe.
It's I don't want to like spoil anything, but it's more about like family drama than like.
Okay.
I wouldn't say more. It's like equally about family drama as it is like, oh, I'm a kid who loves making movies.
Right.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm excited about The Little Mermaid as well. It's gonna be great. All right, y'all. I guess we are heading out. Yeah. Anything else you want to tell everybody before we go?
I love you all. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Happy everything. Next time you see us, we'll be together again.
Yes.
The way it should be.
Everywhere I go, every smile I see. Love you guys. You should know that's a Janet reference. We'll talk to you next week. Happy New Year.
All right. Happy New Year.
Bye.
Bye.